radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network.
All right, welcome. How you doing? Fade to Black. Yes, we made it. Today is Monday, June 10th, 2024. And tonight, it's our 2000th show. It's even hard to pronounce. It's a number I can't wrap my head around, but we made it. We've got an amazing show lined up for tonight. And just really quick, just going to give you the breakdown for the week. Tonight is our 2000th party. And tomorrow night, Darcy Weir's going to be here. He's got a new film out called Transmedium. Wednesday night, Leela Hutchinson is with us. We're going to talk about the Crystal Giants, an amazing cave system, and her research into that. It is absolutely incredible. And then Thursday night, Paul Seaburn is with us from Mysterious Universe, and we are going to talk about his new book, What Would You Say to a Naked Alien E.T.? I think that's the title of the book. I think that is the title of the book. And Paul is great, and he will be here on Thursday. Now, tonight on the show, we've got a busy night on the show. Co-hosting with me tonight is Adam Apollo. And we have, okay. Tonight we have Billy Carson, we have Richard Dolan, we have Scott Wolter, we have Whitley Strieber, we have Linda Moulton Howe, we have Danny Sheehan, we have Jason Quitt, and we have Cristina Gomez on with us tonight. And it's a lot of moving parts. It's a lot of things that are moving at the same time. And when you have a show this big and this special with this many guests, we'll see how things play out through the evening. And I want to say this just briefly. For me to start a career and you think about things, and you start at zero, and it doesn't matter if you're writing a book, if you're writing a screenplay or wanting to direct a movie, or you want to put a band together, you want to start a racing team for cars, whatever it is that you want to do, and you start that project at zero, but you have a dream, right? You have a dream. You dream, right? But numbers like show number 2000 are things you just don't think about. That is way off into the future. And do you ever get there? Well, you don't know unless you try. And I've kept my foot on the gas and went on this adventure with all of you. And it's an honor and a privilege. And I want to say thank you to everybody out there, all of the amazing guests over the years, the amazing audience, and all of the Fadernauts. It's a humbling experience to get to show number 2000. And I am saying it because I am doing it. I am here. I am at show number 2000. I just can't wrap my head around it. And I am so thankful. I am so blessed. And I'm saying to all of you, thank you. Over the years, I have become friends with people that I have a lot of respect for, and I've followed and developed relationships with. And as I started to put the show together, I was like, okay, who's my little circle? Who's my thing? And so we started to put this together, and that list could have been 100 people, obviously. Could have been 1,000. And but who is it? Who's just like right there in my world? and we put that list together, and that's who we have on the show tonight. Again, we've got Billy Carson coming up here in a few minutes. I've got Adam Apollo that is going to be co-hosting with me. We've got Linda Moulton Howe. We've got Whitley. We've got Danny Sheehan. Jason Quitt coming in from Canada. Scott Wolter's coming in all the way from the United Kingdom later on tonight. I'm going to close out the show with my other co-host, Cristina Gomez. And so what a great night on the show. And that's it. Without saying anything else, I want to welcome my co-host tonight, Adam Apollo. He's right there. Adam, how you doing, my man?
Jimmy Church, number 2000. Yes, buddy.
Yeah,
So
man.
epic.
Yeah, man. And thank you for doing this with us tonight. Yeah, I'm just going to say this to you. And to everybody listening right now. Life is a journey, right? It's a journey, man. It's a journey. And it's and how you got here, whatever it is, right, in your life out there. And I'm speaking right into the eyeballs of anybody in the audience right now, that whatever it is that got you here in the past is what got you here.
Yeah.
Life is a journey, isn't it?
Oh
and
my God.
it's just amazing. It's just it's an extraordinary experience, isn't it?
It absolutely is, Jimmy. And, it's my biggest case against the parallel dimension multiverse theory that we believe we've had 1,000 other or 1,000,000 other or an infinite number of other lives that we never got to experience and we never got to live, and they'll never combine to the now, because the reality is every relationship you've actually had, every experience you've actually had has defined you, has shaped you. You are who you are because of this stream of time, because of this journey, Jimmy. And I'm just honored to be with you on this one, my friend.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I remember, since we're throwing a party tonight, let's just, I should have some vodka out here or something. But anyway,
drink, John. I got my Olipop right here, but other than that, it's sponsored by Olipop. Jimmy Church's 2000.
I remember the moment when we first met. Okay. Now,
yep. I remember you telling the story about it.
it was backstage, and I had read a little bit about you, right? But at that point, you and I had not met, and you were off doing your other stuff in the world, right? Yeah. So our paths hadn't crossed. But anyway, we were doing a panel, and I was hosting the panel. And we were all gathering backstage, and I had a video camera I was running. And then you walk in, and you were dressed in white, right? Head to toe, white shoes, white pants, white jacket. You were glowing. And I remember Graham Hancock was there. You remember that?
Oh yeah. Right? I was the only person dressed better than Graham Hancock, I think.
Right. And I took one look at you and I went, I like this guy. Right. So I introduced, I went out and, did my thing, and I brought everybody out. And then I introduced you, and you came out, and I just remember your few minutes when you spoke to the audience and how the audience responded and how I did and how I resonated. But anyway, so this is where the bro love part comes in. I went, me and this guy are friends. And we had just met. And it's been that way ever since, man. And just thank you. We've done so much stuff together, and man,
I'm so honored, Jimmy. And every time I've got a chance to be on your show, I'm excited about it. I love your audience. Your Fadernauts are awesome. You guys out there that just talk and chat and are a part of this live experience. It's just so beautiful. You've really created an amazing community around you, Jimmy. And I don't know if you loved me right from the moment you saw me in white, but I think we bonded on that panel, and
we did.
Every chance we've had since, has been epic. I missed you dearly hanging out, for the whole weekend at Contact in the Desert this year. And it really showed. Like, I was like, Jimmy Church's light is not in this room. It's just not the same.
But at least our paths crossed in the hallway.
They did.
Yeah. At 2:00 in the morning, right?
2:00 in the morning.
All right. So we've got a lot of guests. We've got a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I want to bring in our first guest, fresh off of, I might add, the Joe Rogan Experience. That's right. Here he is right here, Billy Carson.
Hey.
Billy, how you doing, my brother?
All right, fantastic, man. How are you?
Hey, so I'm going to let the audience know. I have a direct line to Billy, and he always picks up the phone call. So now I have to go through his assistant because of Joe Rogan, and that's it. Is Billy available? I don't know who's calling. This is Jimmy Church. Okay, let me see. No, Billy. Oh man,
what's up, Adam? How you doing, Adam?
I'm doing great, Billy. It's great to see you, man. It feels like it's been a while since we actually hung out in person. And I know you're too famous for me too, so I never get the phone call. But I just appreciate everything you're doing in the world, Billy. So I'm glad that you're here leading off this epic adventure tonight.
No problem. Thank you. Same for both of y'all. And Jimmy, number 2000, huh?
Wow.
2000. You know what that means? What that spells to me? That spells the word consistency. I think a lot of people underestimate the word consistency and what it really means, the action that it takes to achieve that consistency, the sacrifice, the energy output, all of that it takes to do that. People think you wake up and all of a sudden you're just an overnight success, but they don't see you chipping away with a chisel at that diorite stone, one chisel at a time over 2 decades. And then all of a sudden you're at 2000, you're at 2,000 podcasts, you're known all around the world, you're successful. There's a process to this. And what I like about you, Jimmy, is you trust the process and you just keep chiseling away, one chisel at a time, one hammer chisel at a time, and just chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. But over time, micro changes create macro evolution. And that's what you've been able to do, man. So congratulations and hats off to you.
Yeah, thank you for that, Billy. And, coming from you and everybody that is going to be on the show tonight, we're all friends. We're all family. This is a closed circle. And later on, in a minute, Richard Dolan's going to be on the show. And Richard said something to me once, Billy, that you and I said to each other once. And I think I've said it to Adam. And I think I've said it to Linda. And I think I've said it to Whitley. And things. It is this. We can only talk to each other as friends in a way that only us understand. And one of the things that we all say to each other is people don't get the amount of work that goes into this. They don't understand. They want it, but as soon as they find out what is involved, it's like, well, you know what? They back up a step, and that's not the way to win at life. The way to win at life is to put your foot on the friggin' gas, start the car, and go.
I mean, I wish some of the conferences understood this a little bit more because, when you've spent 200 hours forming a presentation that's integrating 10 years of your life to be able to blow away an audience full of a couple thousand people. And then, the idea is like, well, you'll just have a good stage, but I mean, come on, guys, it's the work that we put in that brings people to a new way of looking at things and a new way of looking at life. And that's invaluable. It's impossible to actually value the wealth of that. And especially someone like you, Billy, who, through your Forbidden TV channel, you've created so much educational media, so many opportunities for people to dive into deeper topics in ways that they can't get anywhere else. And I just applaud you for doing such an amazing job creating a platform around that, sculpting that so that you could build a community that can journey with you into the future as well.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it, man. What I like about this community is, people who I consider to be leaders like yourself and Jimmy just are out here consistently working, putting the work in nonstop, and just doing our best to try to uplift humanity from every different aspect of our perspective. So we all bring a different piece to the puzzle. So, Jimmy, he has his piece, you have your piece, I have my piece. And when we add all these pieces together, all of a sudden we could begin to see a full picture. And I think that's what's really important. I think sometimes people try to say, well, being conscious is ancient civilizations, or it's UFOs, or it's phenomena, or spirituality. No, it's everything. It's all of those things. It's even financial literacy. All of those things encompass, consciousness and raising one's level. And what I like about, this community is everyone brings something different. And I can learn from people in this community where, when I go outside of it, it's really hard to gain some knowledge or something that I feel I can add to my life and apply. But I'm gaining a lot of knowledge in here. I'm gaining, and I just love spreading and sharing. Jimmy's done a phenomenal job. He's like a pioneer. He's always had some of the top guests that everyone would love to have on their podcast. He's been pulling them in for decades. That's his thing. He's become a master at it, and he's built some really long-lasting friendships, some lifelong friendships, and fortunately, those people are really all trying to help move humanity forward. So it's kudos, man. This is a great day, great day.
Thank you so much, Billy. And now, really quick, I do want to announce. I'm going to plug for Billy really quick. Billy and I, all of us, it's just, but Billy and I have got a few things for the rest of the year that are planned out, and we do this every year. Coming up in a couple of weeks, Billy's got his new TV series out. It's called Anunnaki, and he's been premiering it across the country. And I just hung out with Billy here in Los Angeles at his premiere here. Sold out the IMAX, the biggest IMAX theater in the United States. Sold it out here in Los Angeles. I was there. I was on stage. I introduced Billy. And to see that, right, just stand there. And I'm just like, so anyway, Billy's going to be back here in LA in a couple of weeks with me at DisclosureFest, Stairway to the Stars. We're going to re-premiere another premiere of the Anunnaki. And then immediately after that is the 2024 Conscious Awards, again, out in Miami. This year, Giorgio Tsoukalos is going to host. I am the MC. And check this out. Adam and the rest of the world, you have to listen to me. You know what my job is? My job is to sound cool in a closet. They put me in a closet. I'm off. I'm back in this closet, but I got a microphone, right? And I just get to sound cool for 3 hours on TV.
Talk about really dark coffee.
Exactly right. But Billy, that and everything that you have been able to do for this community is absolutely tremendous. And to have you here tonight for this 2000th celebration, my friend, my brother, means so much to me. Thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Love you both, man. And congrats and many, many more episodes to come.
Billy Carson, everybody.
Let's hang out. Come up to the city and let's hang out.
Yes, definitely. We got to do it. Well, it's overdue. We're overdue.
Deal. It's a deal.
All right.
Thank you, Billy. Behave.
Thank you. Catch y'all later.
All right. Billy Carson, everybody. And wow, he has really, Adam, he has really done it. He's really done it. I didn't want to say this while he was on the air. Let me make sure he's gone. He's gone.
He can still hear you, Jimmy. He can still hear you, but it's okay. We'll just pretend he's not in the room.
We don't remember how we met. Okay. But I do remember this. We've told the story many times, but he looked at me in my eyeballs. This is years before anything started, right? Yeah. And he goes, I got this idea, man. I'm going to do this. And normally, right, you're hearing somebody, you're like, yeah, okay, all right, whatever. I'm looking at him. I'm like, he's really gonna I'm gonna be along on this ride.
Would
And
you
then
say the same thing if somebody was like, Jimmy Church, you're gonna do how many episodes of Fade to Black?
Yeah,
Like,
I know.
Jimmy, 2,000. What would you say?
You're crazy.
You wouldn't even be sure.
But you would think you would say that, but in your mind, no, you're not. No, you would say that because it's the right thing to say. In your mind, you're like, damn Skippy, I am. Just like this next man that I'm going to bring on. It's Richard Dolan, everybody. Richard, welcome to the show, my friend. 2000.
Hey, Jimmy, congratulations on 2K. And 2K. Adam, nice to meet you, by the way. How are you?
Hey, Richard, we've met a couple times, but it's all right. I won't blame you for not remembering
meeting you again.
Among all of the conferences. It's all right.
Absolutely.
I forgive you. You're handsome. You're a good man.
And Richard, just thank you for everything. And you have been along with me on this journey since the very, very beginning.
I remember.
Yeah.
You do too.
Should we share with everybody how we met?
Oh, yeah. I think it's a funny story. I think it was in LA. You were brand new. You were doing this live event. I think it was with LA MUFON. And you were interviewing me. My latest book at the time was UFOs for the 21st Century Mind. I was really impressed because you did a lot of prep for that book. But what I really remember is back in
the tree. Tell the tree.
I would carry my books in, and I had a box of books to sell. And I'm walking down this hill, and I hit this tree branch. Boom! Right on my forehead, and it hurt a lot. And I thought, well, I'm okay. I'm good.
Hold on. Now let me tell my perspective. So Richard is coming down the hill. He's got this box of books, and there's this tree, and he extends his hand to shake my hand. That's what happened. And boom, he walks into this tree branch, right? And he steps back and he looks at me, and in 2 seconds from the time that he hit his head to when he looked at me and says, "Am I all right?" And I looked at him, and he's got a lump
growing fast.
And I go, "You're fine. We're live on TV. Remember that? We had cameras and it was sold out." And Richard's got this golf ball.
I expected a story of he come out and suddenly he's suddenly an enlightened guru, and all of a sudden he's got the donut on his head and his third eye is expanding to infinity.
And we got Richard into the women's bathroom. We had all the ladies get a bunch of makeup on them. But the point is that, you look good for the camera. We were okay. But that conversation that we had that night, Richard didn't know me. I didn't know Richard. We had just met. That conversation was excellent. That was a great interview. And
it was very good.
It was very good. And the
thing that impressed me, I'll just say, I thought, okay, this guy's got you had the kind of personality that was kind of right there in place. Although you're way more, I don't want to say way, you're more polished now than when you started, but you were very good. But what I was most impressed by was your work ethic. Because you really did a lot of prep for that. I was really quite impressed.
Yeah, it's called I Am. Right.
Yeah,
I read the book, which is
not everyone does that.
And after that, Richard, Linda, and Billy, the late Jim Mars too, as well. There was a handful that were and Scott Wolter too, were my go-to if I needed, if there was something and there was breaking news or whatever. There's just a handful of people that I'm going to call. And Richard's one, Linda's one, Billy's one, Scott's one, Greenwald, of course. And I would call Richard and go, "I need you." And he's like, "Church, let's go. It's go time." And that's what this community loves, not only about Richard, but he trusts me and I trust him. And so the audience gets to experience with you, Richard, an honest, real conversation.
Yeah,
That
can I tell you
you,
something else?
yes,
I've said this to you before, and I think I've said it on the air, but if I haven't said it in a while, I do. I mean, I've interviewed with lots of people and a lot of really good hosts, but I'm just going to tell you, I think you really honestly frequently will bring out the very best in me when we do our interviews, Jimmy. I don't know what it is. I mean, you somehow have this gift of both triggering and opening me in just the right combination, where I feel very comfortable like disagreeing with you and having things out with you in this public forum on all the kind of issues that we talk about. And I mean, obviously, I think I agree with you on almost most of the things, but I always feel very comfortable in really just fully going all out and going deep on a lot of the issues that we talk about. And there's something about it. It could be the fact that we just know each other so well. I'm sure that's a big part of it. But you do that, and I appreciate that, because there's all these different venues in which if you're a public speaker, you're going to be saying something, whether you're doing something solo. I've done that a lot, or when you're doing it with an interview, whether on different types of interview situations. But it really is true. Like when I'm on with you and I got the Fadernauts listening in, I just feel like it works, it clicks. And when we finish it, I'm always like, damn, that was a really great conversation.
It's not just how well you guys know each other, Richard. I second everything you just said immensely, because it's the way Jimmy comes in and he says, what do you think about this? And then he'll say, this is my opinion, but I want to know what you think about this. And he really gives that space. And I've immensely appreciated that about him, especially when we kind of look at things a different way in physics or in galactic contact and things like that. It's really nice to have that space from a host. So
I think that's exactly right, Adam. Yeah, I think Jimmy does that. We're having a little bit of a love fest here for you, Jimmy.
I appreciate that. And now here's the secret. I'll give you guys a secret, and to the rest of the audience. When I get an answer from somebody, you or Linda or Whitley or Adam or whoever it is, I get the answer. The answer is usually the fact. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's not what's important. The next question is why? Why are you saying that? And that's when you get to the real meat to the matter. What is driving you to reach these facts? What did you learn? Why? And that is the magic. And it's the easiest question in the world, but you have to ask it at the right time, right? Yeah. But when you do that, then I get the real Adam. I get the real Richard. I get the real Linda. Because the facts can be repeated and the research is done and the books are written and okay, but why?
Yeah.
All right. Now, to all those podcasters out there, to all those aspiring hosts, I will invoice you for that very important information. It's the best question that you can do right at the right moment is why are you saying that?
Only $99.99 for another full coaching package by Jimmy Church. Sign up now at jimmychurchradio.com.
Well, think about all of the in the years past, when we grew up, especially before internet. But then, there's so many like mainstreamy type shows that they don't go to that level. They don't go deep. It's all very superficial. So you and, we're in a new generation of podcasters. But you're a leader in this, Jimmy, and you really are one of the real best at getting into those deeper questions and the why, as I think you rightly point out. And it's just there's a relaxing vibe about it. There's a relaxing attitude when I'm on one of your shows, like now, And I just want to congratulate you for, Billy put it right on the money. Like, you're consistent, and consistency is one of the most important qualities in any kind of mark of success. Persistence is the name of the game 9 times out of 10. Talent is important, but even more than that, it's just consistency in having a work ethic. And even on the days you don't really want to do it, you do it anyway because it's your job and you are committed to it. And that's you. That's what you've been for. I think when I met you, was it 2013, 2014?
Yeah, 2013. Yeah, so 12 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 11, 12. So you've been remarkable. I mean, I just did a little bit of calculation before we went on. So 2,000 shows. I thought 11 years. That's almost 200 shows a year.
Yeah,
which is insane. That's insane.
It's crazy.
I mean, I couldn't imagine doing that.
It's my bliss, and I couldn't have done any of this without you and Adam and all of the guests and the on. It's a family affair, and I want to thank you. I want to thank you for being consistent and getting this frigging USO 2-parter book out. Oh. When is this going to happen?
Well, my original plan was May, so that didn't happen. I just keep adding more things to this. So this is an 800+ page thing right now. So it will be published in 2 volumes. It has to be. So I have an amazing illustrator, a man named Alan Levine, who was an APRO investigator in the 70s. He was a protege of Jim and Coral Lorenzen, and he's an amazing guy, and he's a hell of an illustrator. So we're doing that. I've just put together a spreadsheet of all 600+ cases that I've put in here with a ton of categories, and I'm doing data analysis of that now. I didn't want to do that, but that just happened. So that's going to be a very important part of this book, it turns out. So there's a few other things that I'm working on. Each entry is done. I think I'm happy with them all. Late summer.
Adam, you had a question?
Just a tip. Richard, have you tried outputting that spreadsheet to a PDF file and then loading it into Claude and asking Claude questions to do analysis on it for you?
Not yet. There are people who've been talking about subjecting it to an AI analysis, and honestly, I have not used Claude, so I'll have to look into it. But yeah, I could easily output it as a PDF.
It's
by the way.
Well, wait, I want to hear Adam.
This isn't Adam. This isn't Adam. This is an AI version of Adam running in real time.
This is my digital twin. It has
I will very likely do that. I need to get back to one gentleman who is very, very conversant with spreadsheets. I'm not. I'm like a little baby with spreadsheets. So I will talk to this individual, but yeah, Claude, I'll look into that. That's
just print it as a PDF. Load it into Claude and use it. I found that Claude is much, much better for research science. It just doesn't have as much of the sort of narrowed frame as GPT has in certain areas, especially physics and kind of bleeding edge areas of science and research. And then we're building a librarian that lets you not just load in, a spreadsheet, but you can load in like 20, 30, 50 documents. I have one that I'm building that's like a 20 document package. Some of these documents are 80, 100 pages plus. I'm loading my book into one of them, and then you essentially can pull from whichever LLM you want and then do really, really refined, accurate analysis of data in those files, and produce things out of them. So it's a useful tool to consider.
This is something I am familiar with. I have a program that I use that can do something like what I think you're saying. But I'm very intrigued by that, and I'll probably investigate it more. And I may have to follow up with a question for you on that, sir. So
and that's what I'm here for, is to get everybody together. Richard, thank you so much, my friend. Great email exchange today. That's but
talk about that later. Thank you.
Yeah, that was amazing, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Okay, so
really a lot of fun seeing both of you, and Jimmy, congratulations once again.
Thank you so much. Richard Dolan. Give my best to Tracy. Richard, I will talk to you first thing.
That's right. Bye-bye.
Richard Dolan, everybody. Absolutely amazing. And talking about the AI part, I'm going to bring in Scott Wolter next. Scott, I don't see your video. And Scott's coming to us from the United Kingdom. And so, video's turning on. Okay, Scott, I see it. Scott's trying.
It's cool. We should just make a mention that I'm now $2 Chuck. I just got a $2 donation, Jimmy, for being made of intelligence. Or offended intelligence, perhaps.
It's a gift for AI, Adam. Thank you, Val.
Thanks, Val. Just want to appreciate you for that.
Before I bring in Scott, and he's in the United Kingdom, and he's in the middle of the things, and it's really early in the morning there, so I'm going to bring him in. But Jacques Vallée mentioned to me years ago, now he has since talked about it, but he had said that he had access to, I don't want to get into the details, but the point is 200,000 documented cases, right? Mm-hmm. And he said the only way to go through that data was with AI. This is way before this AI madness that we're into, but he recognized that. Okay, here we go. All the way from the United Kingdom, somewhere in Scotland, Scott Wolter's right there. Scott, how are you, my brother?
All right. I want you to be able to see the full night. Guess where I am, Jimmy? Do you have any idea? And Adam, good to see you, Adam.
Good to see you, Scott.
Yeah. Okay, so it's 3:30 in the morning here. I set my clock for 3. I went to bed at 2 after spending the night with the actor Sophie Skelton, who plays Brianna on the show Outlander. Have you ever heard of it?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. She's great.
God. She was amazing. She was so cool. What a wonderful gal. We're in this room, we had 22 guests. Sophie, myself, we had a guy playing the bagpipe right here, and it's just been an amazing night. And I should be sleeping, but when I heard that it was an anniversary, this is the 2000th show.
2000th
show, bro.
What the hell? 2000?
2000. 2000.
How do you even do that?
You know how I do it? I do it with you, Scott. Adam, check this out. Yeah. Every time I start a new project, radio, TV, film, doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. My first phone call is to Scott.
I understand.
And Scott, okay, man, I got this thing, and I'm going to be Jimmy. I'm there, and whatever you need. And it's been like that for over a decade with Scott and I, and Scott has been with me since the very, very start of things, and we built an amazing friendship. But apart from that, it's the stuff that I'll confess, the stuff that I steal from Scott Wolter, and I am able to sound so smart. Like people say to me all the time, Jimmy, I didn't know you knew that. I'm like, I don't.
I just read Scott.
I don't know what that's all right. If it helps you, you know that we're happy to help anytime. And I can remember over the years, there were a number of times when something was going on and you said, Scott, I need you. Can you come on? I said, hell yeah, man. Let's do it at 3:30 in the morning in Scotland at a Templar preceptory. I mean, that sounds good. Let's do it.
Yeah. I remember, this is a true story too. I signed my contracts at Coast to Coast. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And this is a true story. I'm not making this up. And my agent calls and says, we're good. I said, okay, cool. So then at that moment, Coast says, okay, what do you want to do this week? Who's your first guest? I was like, oh, it's that kind of party? Okay. I said, I'll give you a call right back. I'm in Costco. Adam, I'm in Costco pushing a cart through Costco, and I call Scott Wolter. I go, Scott, Jimmy, hey man, what's going on? Hey, listen, man, I need you. What's going on? And I told him, I said, I need you this Friday. Dude, I'm in. And that's a true story, man. In Costco, you remember that, Scott?
Costco? I didn't know that.
I've gotten the Costco call too, Scott. I've gotten the Costco's call too.
You got the Costco call too?
Yeah, absolutely.
Start a club. We're going to call it the Costco Club. Jimmy Church Costco Club.
Well,
hey,
now,
Jim, can you just do me a favor? Because we have done a lot of shows, and I know there have been times when I bailed you out. So you're going to do me a favor right now, okay?
Sure.
I want you to say it. And Adam, if you're going to get into this business, you got to come up with something like this, okay? And this is a particular thing that only this guy can do. Jimmy, give it to me in your best Jimmy Church voice. You know what I want. Say it right now, and it starts with a G.
Starts with a G.
Wait. Do I have to do it for you?
It starts with the G. Oh. Go Beckley Tappy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Scott and Adam, Linda is backstage listening too as well.
Hi, Linda.
As I started researching Go Beckley Tepe. Now this is going back. Other researchers had gone there. Linda and others, okay, and Robert Schock and John Anthony West, and people have been, but the public didn't know. The research, us in the community, we were all flipping the frig out, because we knew that something special was going on. But the audience, no, and I would, and I thought, that's it. I am going to say Go Beckley Tepe every opportunity that I can.
Every commercial break.
every commercial break. Every sign off on Coast, every sign off on Fade to Black, every TV, every opportunity I had, I was going to say Go Beckley Tepe. Why? Not that
because nobody could pronounce it correctly.
There's that. There's that. But I wanted people to go, what is this? And go Google search. What's Jimmy? What's that? That's all I want. Just let people go on their own, talking about it earlier, Adam, their own journey. And it was just so important to me. And the more that I would bring this up with guests, the people that I would interview, and it was so interesting, we're all saying the same thing. Exactly, church. Exactly. And this is why it was exciting. It still is. And that was my little reason for doing that. And, there was no monetary gain. What, I'm going to get a Go Beckley Tepe check? No.
What you did is you brought attention to a site that really has prompted incredible amount of research, a credible amount of imagination in people. I mean, what is going on with this site that was buried, about 13,000 years ago? And while we're on the subject, this weekend, Haley and I will be speaking at the Cosmic Summit in Greenville, North Carolina. And guys like Robert Schock are going to be there. And we're going to be talking about Go Beckley Tepe, about the Younger Dryas. We're going to be talking about the Templars too, because believe it or not, there is a connection. And it's one of the things that has me so excited right now is Go Beckley Tepe has really captured the imagination of so many people.
Wait. Are you saying Freemasons built Go Beckley Tepe? I knew
I'm
it.
I'm not saying
I know it.
I'm not saying Freemasons built it, but I'm saying that the people that built it may have been practicing Freemasonry.
Well, okay. Okay. Adam, this is my theory. I'm going to say this with Scott Wolter listening.
Yeah.
This is my theory that I stole from talk radio in like 1972. I was like 10 years old listening to talk radio late at night. And I'm listening to these guys. This is way before Art Bell. This is, so anyway.
This is before I was born, Jimmy.
Yeah. Thank you for that. This is my theory, that the art of stonework and engineering and astronomical alignments and meaning started at all of the ancient sites, obviously predating Giza, but that thing that we call Freemasonry today, its foundations have been handed down for millennia.
Absolutely.
Period. No, don't say that, Scott. This is my idea. This is my theory.
All right. So you're going to tell the indigenous people like that live in North America that have been practicing Freemasonry for tens of thousands of years. Yeah.
That was my idea.
It was your idea, and it's a great idea, and it's absolutely true.
I believe that.
Guys, sorry, but look, there is an intelligent series of civilizations out there that have been practicing masonry of different kinds, building ancient structures for millions of years.
Thank you.
I'm with you.
I agree. Hey, Scott, listen, man, thank you for being there. Thank you for everything. Thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a part of Fade to Black. The Fadernauts love you. The community needs you. Keep doing your thing. Go back to bed. You've got work to do for the rest of the day. Scott Wolter, Jimmy, everybody.
Thank you so much, Jimmy. Congratulations. And let's do this again at 3,000.
Yeah, we will. And I just want to say, everybody, Scott and I are going on another cruise to Alaska coming up in a couple of months. And the links for that are below. Scott, safe travels back to the States. I'll see you soon. And then the next time I see you, we're going to be watching the whales up in Alaska. Thank you, Scott.
Give my regards.
See you later, Adam.
Thanks, Scott. Great to see you, man.
Bye, guys.
The absolute very best. Scott Wolter, been with me since the beginning. And we're just going to keep this rolling along. Adam, you're a pretty good co-host, man.
Oh, I'm having fun.
We should do this more often, and what makes it fun is that I'm able to go boop, 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 boop with the very best of the best, with friends and with people that I respect, like this next young man that's coming on right now.
Oh, we got
Whitley
next,
Strieber, everybody. That's right.
Whitley Strieber.
Whitley
yes.
Strieber, right there. Whitley, good evening, young man.
Well, how are you? I'm glad to be on. I thought it was your birthday, not your 2000 show. I put it all over my social media wrong. I'm so sorry.
Happy birthday, Jimmy Church. Happy birthday.
Well, that was the idea, yeah, but now it's clear that I was wrong. But anyway, congratulations on having done 2000. I'm horrified.
Whitley. Yeah. When Whitley, when I called you, Adam, so check this out. I called Whitley and I said, this is what's going on. He goes, 2000. How did you get to 2000? I want to be a part of that. 2000. Is that right, Jim? I said, 2000, Whitley. He said, I am there, my friend. And Whitley, again, just like everybody else that's on with us tonight and so many more, you've been with me from the beginning, but we have become really close friends, and the community could not be where it is today without you, Whitley. So thank you for being a part of Fade to Black, but on behalf of the community, man, thank you for being you.
Well, thank you. Thank you for being you too, Jimmy. 2000 shows. What is that? That's quite a few years now. Have you figured that out?
Yeah, like 12. But wait a minute. Years. How many? Okay. So, but how many?
That's where.
How many episodes of? How many episodes of Country have you done? How many? Okay, Whitley, you're breaking up a little bit. Yeah, Whitley is.
We're still have the power from Whitley. We need you to come through loud and clear, laddie. Come on, get your signal straight.
There, hello. Are you still there?
Yeah, we got you, Whitley.
I've been doing Dreamland since Dwight Eisenhower went aboard a UFO in 1952. So that's a while.
Wow.
No, actually, I've been doing Dreamland since 1988 when it was on Clear Channel as a radio show. And Art quit.
Oh,
I'm sick. I
Telling me.
can't do Dreamland tonight. Can you do the show? And I said, sure. I have no idea what I was doing. None.
we lost Whitley.
Oh,
We lost
Christ.
Whitley. Okay, so
Teleporter
here's the
again,
deal. I'm going to pull Whitley. Yeah, we lost Whitley. Whitley had to run out of state for something anyway, and it was a very sudden thing, and he might be coming back. Let's see if he's coming back.
Like it was an accident or something. Like Whitley,
so
we lost him to another state. You know, there
Yeah.
he goes. But no, that was great to just see him for a second. And I think he was trying to say that he's been doing that show since the 80s.
Yeah, Dreamland and Unknown Country, which has not only been an inspiration for me. I have sat and talked to Whitley about, because I'm talking, this is a long time ago, Adam. I would sit and listen to Whitley's shows, and I would just, the conversation and the way that he would sit like two friends at a campfire, right?
Yeah.
That was Dreamland and Unknown Country to me, because Whitley, well, he had his friendships and his relationships, but Whitley's very, I almost said well read. That's goes
Without saying.
yeah. But he had a way of having these conversations, and I thought to myself, I admitted it to Whitley. I said, I used to think if there was a way that I could do that half as good, I've got it. I'll have this dialed.
So are you saying Whitley Strieber was literally the inspiration for Fade to Black?
100%, 100%.
Nice.
Man, you go back and you listen to those old Dreamland shows. Yeah. The new stuff too. I've been on his show a bunch. He's been on mine. And Unknown Country. You go back and you listen to those shows. They are incredible.
Wow.
Man, they are just so good. Oh, wait. Okay, I think Whitley's back. Hold on. Let's see. I think Whitley, are you back? Do we have a better signal?
No, it's not making any sound.
Okay, yeah, we got sound. Whitley.
We got you.
Whitley, potty mouth.
I'm on Wi-Fi, yeah.
Yeah, you're live. You're live. Whitley, you're live.
Jimmy Church. Don't put it on, or it'll
okay.
Echo.
Okay. Hey, Whitley, you're live. Everybody's listening to you. Okay, he doesn't hear. Okay, I don't want anything bad to be said.
We just had a dimensional crossing.
Okay.
We don't.
Whitley,
it was not in the same plane of existence.
Yeah, I don't think he can hear us. See, that's the thing. Okay, Whitley, nod your head if you can hear me. And Whitley, nod your head if you can hear me. No, you can't hear me? Okay. See, I don't know what he's saying. Can you hear him, Adam?
If he's bobbling his head this way, it means yes, Jimmy. So
Whitley, can you hear me? Can you hear me? See, no, he's saying no. Should we hear what?
Telling bad jokes about me. Which
okay, no, we're not telling bad jokes about you. Whitley.
In any case,
no,
for whatever reason,
he created the show because of you, Whitley.
This has been my laptop melted down earlier today. It's now got a blue screen of death, so I'm going to bury it in the backyard tomorrow morning. My phone's been going crazy. Everything has been electronically fighting me today. And so now I am talking to you without having any ability to tell what you are saying. But since I do a lot of talking, I'm going to talk a little bit about you, Jimmy, who I don't know when I first started on your show, but it was a long time ago. And we have had a lot of fun. over the years. We sure have. And I was at Contacting the Desert last weekend, and you were there. I did not know that. Therefore, I did not see you. But you were only there for the fun part, which was the party. But it was all fun. It was a great show. And we got to do it again. I've had you on my show a few times. Actually, I've interviewed you a couple times. It's been a lot of fun. And you know what, Adam? I looked earlier today. You have never been on Dreamland when I was the host.
I'm going to get you guys hooked up. Yes. I'm going to get you guys. Yeah, I'm going to get you guys hooked up. That's going to happen. See, I get to do this. I can go like this. Watch this, Adam. Yeah. Adam, I'm going to get you hooked up with Whitley. You like that? You like those camera angles?
I got to get my OBS working like that too, like switch views and stuff. But
hey, Whitley. I know you can't hear me. I'm going to say bye.
This is spectacularly
thank you.
Fucked up. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Whitley.
Spectacularly fucked up, guys. I am.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
It's okay, man. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's gonna be all right.
No, I'm good.
Whitley.
Okay. Yeah, Whitley's upset, and it's because he cannot hear what's going on. So wow, I've never heard Whitley use a swear word.
He didn't. I think he knew he was live, but then he kind of forgot he was live for a second. And and we got to see a little bit of the dragon in Whitley, this raw, which is kind of cool. I actually appreciate that. You know, it's important to be able to see all the sides of people sometimes.
I fully appreciate what you know. He's absolutely right. And I see this is the thing, and we're going to take a break right here, and we'll come back with Linda Moulton Howe.
Yep.
Here's the thing. And this follows the paranormal conspiracy UFO community wherever you go. And it's Bigfoot, it doesn't matter. Problems, interference, interruptions, things happen. And it's frustrating. When I was doing sports radio, Adam, I never had one issue.
Not
one, nothing ever. Start doing this, right? And Whitley has gone through it as much as anybody has, you know. And I can't tell you how much effort he has put into getting information out there and making sure things are right and things are moving forward. And there's always, especially in Whitley's world, there's always somebody pushing back. And Whitley won't have anything to do with it, man. He won't. Yeah. He will continue to move forward. And that's consistency. Right?
That is the word of the night. Consistency. Yeah,
Adam, you stay right there. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's our 2000th show. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to get your alerts and access to over 2,000 videos. Click that subscribe button right now. to jimmychurchradio.com and get the Fade to Black official podcast. 2,000 episodes, all of them commercial free for just $2 a month. Hi, this is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and I want to invite you to come to Alaska with me on the Contact at Sea cruise. It is this September 6th through the 13th, 2024. We are on the largest ship in the Pacific Ocean. That's right, the Ovation of the Seas. It's an amazing cruise, and a ship this big is so much fun. We've got lots of activities and lots of great speakers. We are leaving from Seattle to Sitka, Alaska, Skagway, Juneau. We're going to end the cruise in Victoria, BC, and arrive in Seattle on September 13th. We've got a lot of amazing speakers, including we've got Seth Showstack, Scott Wolter, Stephen Bassett, Daniel Sheehan, Daryl Sims, Mas Adi, Vivian Chavez, Grant Cameron, Geraldine Orozco, Misha Johnston, and Melanie Aguirre, and a whole lot more. All you have to do is go to divinetravels.com. You can also go to contactatsea.com. Both are going to take you to a full event schedule. You can check in, look at the boat, get things ready to go, and maybe get a cabin with a balcony. That's what I'm talking about. Come see the whales. Come check it all out. Let's go to Alaska this September 6th through the 13th, 2024 with me, Jimmy Church. Now, when you head to divinetravels.com or contactatsea.com and get signed up, you know what? Use my name, Jimmy Church. I'll see you there September 6th through the 13th, 2024. Let's go to Alaska. This is Jimmy Church. Please visit and explore Egypt this October 3rd through the 14th, 2024 with Billy, Elizabeth, myself, and very special guest and the #1 podcaster in the world, Sean Kelly. It's simple to do. Just go to forbiddenknowledge.com and click on upcoming tours, or click on the link below. We'll see you there. Watch Into the Vortex on Gaia TV. It's Fade to Black for the screen. Simple to do. Go to Gaia.com, search Jimmy Church, or click on the link below. Follow Fade to Black on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Get all of the show updates every single day. It's now called X, but who cares? How you doing? Jimmy Church here. Special announcement. Get your Fade to Black T-shirts. That's right. Help support the show. Help support everything that we do over here. We've got 2 T-shirts. We've got 2 ways to get them. Get your Fade to Black T-shirt today. Go Backley Tappy. Go to jimmychurchradio.com and become a Fadernaut. Get a membership. That's right. Everything is commercial free. You have access to downloads, and you get to call yourself a Fadernaut. River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Truly the best coffee on planet Earth. Just visit rivermoonwellness.com or their Amazon store. It's all simple to do. You can check out the Fade to Black blend, the Game Changer blend, or any of their Black Moon Wellness products. It's the only coffee I drink. It is the best, and it's Doc. Again, rivermoonwellness.com. All right. Welcome back, Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church. And if you're just joining us, this is our 2000th episode tonight. And we've got a lot of great friends that we're bringing through. And my co-host tonight is Adam Apollo. And Adam is right there. Adam, thank you. What just an amazing time. Thank you, brother. I seriously, it's humbling. Before we bring Linda in, I just want to take 10 seconds to say this. Did we have a time change or something? During the break, I walked around and to get some more River Moon coffee, right?
Yeah. Fantastic blend.
The sun is still out. It's 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's daylight outside. I'm like, when did man, I need to leave the house.
When did the earth really start tilting this far? After all, I mean, my goodness, look at this. No, it is. We're so close to summer solstice. It's still light out, and it's after 8 o'clock. I could still be hanging out on the beach right now if it wasn't for you, Jimmy. But,
right.
Here I am. Here we are.
Yeah. You're with me right now in Southern California.
Yep.
You can tell everybody it's light outside right now. It's crazy, man. It's nuts. It's nuts. Well, I want to bring in Linda Moulton Howe, and just let me say this, and as repetitive as this may be, we have a close circle of friends. Okay. All right. There's just this little group, and we all hang out with each other. We share knowledge with each other. We talk, we do things. And we have developed amazing friendships and bonds that have gone on for a long time. And Linda, who has been with me since the very beginning, the two of us, one of the things that I appreciate, and the audience gets this, is that we will always talk freely with each other. And whether it's privately or whether it's on the air, it's always honest, it's fresh, and it's something that, again, I learn from. And she has inspired me and everybody else for such a long time, and we've become very close friends and are on this journey together. And I just want to say, welcome back to Fade to Black, Linda Moulton Howe. Linda, thank you so much.
Thank you, and hi both to Adam and to you.
And Linda.
Oh, can I start something here right at the top? Because tonight I went to Google and I asked this question: what is a 2,000-year-old life or event called? And it came up with an answer: bi-millennial. And then I said, okay, I'm going to wish you a bi-millennial 2000 Fade to Black radio broadcast.
Yes.
And when you reach 3,000, there's even another word for that: tri-millennial. So
I love
tonight, I'm announcing that I fully expect that Fade to Black will be tri-millennial in the next decade.
Jimmy Church's bi-millennial episode. Fade to Black forever.
Here's the thing, Linda, you're absolutely right. And just like tonight, you'll be my first phone call. But I'll say this. Linda, when she started her YouTube channel, which took off, right? It took off. And it seemed like, and Linda, you can laugh. It seemed like every month I was doing another video with champagne, congratulating Linda, right? And I'm like, man, I'm getting drunk, congratulating Linda on these steps of growth. And all that says to me, Linda, is, you resonate with me. That goes without saying, but you resonate with the community in such a way that hats off. You've got a way of communicating and doing your research, and to watch that kind of growth. I mean, you deserve all of it. You've been doing this for a long time, but the point is, it happened very, very, very fast, and people resonate with you. They either resonate or they don't, right? That's it. It's really that simple. And I made so many of those videos, and they were so much fun. And just thank you, Linda, not only for being here with Fade to Black and our friendship, but for your contributions to the community. It just means so much to me.
Well, it's been 45 years since trying to get to the bottom of animal mutilations that were linked right from the beginning by law enforcement to UFOs and ETs, because people saw the beams hoisting up the animals. And it's been 45 years of evolution, starting with what law enforcement knew. But look at where we are today. Right now, the fight between the Pentagon and Congress. What kind of government are we in?
Now let's go down memory lane, Linda. Now, Adam, check this out. I get this question a lot, and it's a fair question, and I understand it. So, Jimmy, what's your favorite show? You've done so many shows. What's your favorite show? And my answer is a quick one, Adam. Linda and I, 10 years ago, did a show on Thanksgiving, and we called it the Thanksgiving special. And so Linda comes on, and 3 hours for that show. I want Linda's reaction to this. 3 hours, and we didn't talk about Contact or ET. We talked about Linda's journey as a feminine force in this world.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
And man, I'm telling you, Linda,
she's like, no,
No.
it's not true, Jimmy. There was aliens involved.
You guys need to stop perpetuating that. I am a human being like you're.
Right. Well, but that's what we talked about. But that's what
it's very irritating.
Right.
Any of this. And when they did that panel of women in ufology, it's really, you just, stop it.
Right.
We're humans, and we're various types of talents and interests. That's what the truth is.
And that's, and that show about that very subject, that show, Linda and I, and hearing her, the drive, the key word here is drive. That once the path for her was laid out in front of her, and she knew, its purpose and bliss and all of those things that you find inside of yourself, she has not stopped. And getting that, that conversation, Linda, I'm serious. Out of, I don't know how many shows that we've done, 50, 100, I don't know. But that show is the one that I bring up to everybody. It's that Thanksgiving special with Linda 10 years ago.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it was authentic, and this really is a sore thing with me. I hate it. And we've got to stop, because the world is self-destructing around exactly those kinds of paradigms. So,
well, I really resonate with that, Linda. And you have to forgive the men out there who overcompensate for their level of blindness and ignorance around the wisdom of women in the world that's been such a plague for such a long time. And you're right, it's hilarious because they say, oh, let's have a panel of just women. Why? Because we haven't featured women enough. Well, so that's actually the problem, is not the featuring of women, not the like, oh, we're going to compensate now by having a panel of women. Like it's actually at a much deeper fundamental level of raising up humanity, recognizing everyone's capacity to be powerful teachers and leaders. And hello, wake up, people. Hypatia was one of the greatest scientists of all time, and like you have to look at the lineage and the reality that none of us would be here, for example, without women in our lives. None of this would be here without the women in the universe. This is why I'm a goddess worshiper, frankly. Like, that's my way.
Well, I'm a human being promoter, neither male nor female nor any other. I really feel that the Greeks had it, that agape love is recognizing a fellow being, not a sex. And that in fellow beingness, what you are interacting with is the soul, from my point of view. And that we make a lot of frequency decisions on the way we feel around people, which relates to their soul, which is an invisible part. Have a panel with souls to discuss the beginning of animal mutilations. And the big thing, I think, when I look back over, I'm 82 and a half, I'll be 83 in January. I don't feel at all what that number is supposed to say. I feel as energetic as ever, but it has made me look back that from age 4 on, when my parents gave me a certain amount of independence, because I was one of those kids that wanted a telescope and a piano, and that everywhere in the neighborhood, I was the only girl there. When I went into the astronomy club, I was the only girl there. When I was accepted by the Rocket Society, I was the only girl. And I was sifting gunpowder at the bottom of stairs. I think it was back around 1953 or something. And it was all guys older than I was. And because I had the astronomy club, they had invited me to come to one of their meetings to launch a rocket off of Camel's Back above Boise. And so there were different guys in different places. Again, I was the only female, but because I didn't want to have anybody worry whether I could lift something or anything like that, I said, I'll sift the gunpowder. And we were using potassium chlorate. So it was the one fired off the other. And we had done this before. And in this particular day, I was at the bottom of the stairs. 2 guys were putting the potassium and chlorate inside of a mixture to go inside the rocket. And all of a sudden, yellow. It was, you couldn't see anything. And we knew that if we inhaled what we were working with in the rockets, your lungs could collapse. And that was the first thing I thought, oh my God. And I'm at the bottom of the stairs. No one could see anyone. And I knew that if I didn't try to crawl up the stairs, we were all, it was going to just be devastating. And I started trying to run on my hands and knees up the stairs. And these 175-pound high school guys ended up hitting me on the back with their feet, trying to get outside. And when we finally got through a door and stumbled out into the backyard, the 2 guys that had been in the room next to where I was sifting the gunpowder, they came up like this, and the skin was melting off of their hands, their face, their hair was a mass of purple. For some reason, the hair went purple, melted. And that was the trigger to my dad. You are never to go on a Rocket Society venture again. And yet, I never ever really did pull back. I have always gone after. I think that's my whole point. I like to find new ground and understand it. I like to be able to go forward into things that are not known. I've never lived a life of fear, strangely. And yet I've been in 36 countries. I have climbed mountains. I have been in water everywhere, but I have never once thought of, I am a female and therefore I should not live this life. No.
Right.
No.
Let me jump in. I have done incredible stuff. I say crazy things, but I have never said so. I was sitting there sifting gunpowder. I have never.
He came out with his skin melting off and his hair is purple. I mean, are those guys okay, by the way? Like, did they make it out of the story? Or?
My eyebrows melted. My eyelashes melted.
Oh my God.
My hair was all melted. But my God, when my dad said I couldn't go to the next Rocket Society meeting, I was really upset. So for some reason, I have never been afraid of things, even when there has been a repercussion like this. So to all of the human beings, the agape souls who are listening, who are supposed to be in a category different from men, I say, phooey on that. The big thing is to live life from inside yourself, driven by what it is that you are intrigued by.
What's the secret? Let me ask you that. What's the secret? There is the world is full of like two people. You can, right? It's like 50-50. Those that talk and those that do, right? What's the secret to doing, Linda? How do you consistently keep your foot on the gas and keep that drive? And by the way, she just said 82 and a half rotations, right? So what's the secret, Linda? Share it with us.
Well, for me is I don't bog down about the fact that I'm female. I don't bog down about the fact that I am evolving in time like you guys and everybody else is. That is not where my mind and my soul go. I have been in the biggest investigation I could ever imagine, colliding, meaning animal mutilations, and colliding with the understanding and revelation. My God, there are extraterrestrial entities, intelligence and biological, and they are here on this planet. And then the military people who would seek me out because I was reporting truth that they knew was truth, but was one of the most sensitive subjects. No one was supposed to know that there were extraterrestrials here on this planet, our moon, in Ganymede, throughout the solar system and beyond, who need some kind of chemistry, eggs and sperm, to do the genetic work that they're doing. That to me is the main box. It took a while to understand. And part of me in the beginning, I think, was repulsed by the idea that extraterrestrials would come to this planet and abduct humans and animals and apply a technology to especially the cattle, but every form of animal has been found with this bloodless excision. And in the beginning, I was angry. I remember being angry in one particular pasture where I walked out to gather tissue for Dr. John Altschuler in Denver to examine. We were finding incredible changes in the tissue that meant that something of a high heat, like laser, was being applied to the excision skin only, and that it was hard. And under microscopes, many of these tissue samples were high heat. But we didn't have lasers. Not then. We didn't have laser surgery out. Well, then you get deeper into, it isn't just the current why, it's how does this fit into the entire question of extraterrestrials interacting with our planet. And then the landscape of the investigation, the journey, the exploration gets bigger. And now it's beyond the Earth. It's out throughout our solar system to other solar systems. There's no question. I have had people that I've been very grateful seek me out because there aren't many people that they could talk to.
Right.
And one of the things that I have learned is that some of don't know of a woman in the category of the men who have been engineers, doctors, or physicists. Those are the three main categories I've talked it with. They are so afraid of what's going to happen if they talk the truth. But they know with me, I would never. People can trust me. I protect a lot of people. And then what they begin to see is you can report this incredible story without people falling down, which was the old argument. It used to be, you can't tell anybody any of this, Linda, because people will collapse. Humans are a lot tougher than that. And I tell you right now, I have never felt stronger ever in my entire life, as much as I have waded through. There is something very precarious that is in front of us. There is a profound danger in front of us. And if our government would lead the way in announcing, introducing whoever they think are allies, Nordics, tall whites, whoever it is, and use this time in which there are a lot of perceived dangers coming to a lot of people in a lot of ways, including where there is warfare on our planet right now.
Yep.
If non-humans of a certain ilk could be introduced to the planet this year, it might neutralize, it might puncture what could be growing energy in fear. Fear could be on the other side of what is coming next. And once you get people in a panic mode and a sensibility, I think you've lost. And I have felt so strongly, and why I say it is because of the people who have been communicating to me in the last couple of months. We agree with you.
Let me, in the little time that we have left, Linda, and Adam, you and I can talk about this after Linda says goodnight. But Linda, I wanted to run this past you because science is nothing but a series of corrections. And one of the stable parts of where science and physics are today is Newton and Einstein's theories and math dealing with gravity. And then back in 1932, that gravity was created by mass. You needed mass to have gravity, whatever it is. Okay, so it's small, micro, macro, mass, gravity. Okay, so that's the stable part of physics. Now, today, a press release came out, and this is being presented tonight in the Astronomical Society tonight in Wisconsin, their 244th yearly meeting, by the way, that gravity doesn't need mass,
right?
And that dark matter may not exist. Now, it is just like, whoa. Right. We need to pump the brakes on a statement like that, because that all of Einstein's work on the fabric of space and space-time and gravity and mass and that Newton, everything, and then dark matter was the answer to the math that wasn't working. Right. So,
yeah.
Right. And now all of that, everything, if this indeed, and the data supporting this hypothesis is strong, and if it turns out to be the case, we literally have to erase the whiteboard and start over.
Well, one of the answers that has come through abductees and UFOs is that the physics would have to be redefined because we are in a universe that is one. That there is an infinite number of universes. I know Roger Penrose definitely agrees with that point of view because he told me that when I interviewed him. That is a whole different way of looking at everything around us if we are in one universe of many universes. And probably one of the most interesting discussions that I ever had was in Peru with, he was a professor in a university, and he was very interested in UFOs and ETs. He had been exposed through his military career. And I got into a discussion about animal mutilations, but where it went was suddenly I was talking with somebody who came with other facets of information, and we ended up in this subject. What if the source of all universes is that which is the incomprehensible, but that each universe is created for a very specific task? And in this universe, the challenge of this universe is the battle between the yin and the yang from beginning to end. And that if we knew the whole big picture, this universe is trying to tilt the black and white scale to such a point that every soul eventually that would go through this universe where the black fight the white, the soul would learn that you never turn to the dark.
Well, is that
hold on, Jimmy, hold on. I want
to no, I was asking you, Adam.
Okay.
Is that the answer then? What I think Linda is alluding to, including this press release today?
Yeah. Well,
is it consciousness? Is that the answer?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as we see in science, we make a lot of assessments based on observation, and then we make theories based on those observations, and then hold those theories, try to elaborate on them, and then test them against different kinds of experiences and sources. Linda, you know this better than anyone, as well as I. In this space of disclosure and ufology, the reality is that we're dealing with a lot of different kinds of experiences across a lot of different kinds of levels. To speak directly to what you just shared, I would say that without the yang and the yin, without the fire and the water, the hot and the cold, the light and the dark, all of that, that literally is the lovemaking that makes this universe. I mean, without that, you don't have day and night. Without that, you don't have summer and winter. Without that, there's a lot of people who talk badly about duality, for example, right? Like as if we don't want duality. But in reality, duality is actually the very thing that allows us to have relationships with each other, to fall in love and to fall out of love and back into it. And so I think that at a certain level, I deeply resonate with what you're saying about how this universe is this dance of yang and yin. But that dance is really the force of creation itself. It's the alchemy behind all of the things. And I could put that same frame in the extraterrestrial space and say that, yes, while there are people that have had negative experiences, the vast majority of people that I've connected with, spoken with, and or have had in myself have been vastly positive experiences of extraterrestrial races and worlds and planets. And that, when you get down to it, here we are. I mean, my cities didn't get blasted by a bunch of ET ships, and all the conversations I'm having with this galactic family are, in the space of almost like elders caring for youth growing up, and as well as other species, like certain species of the Greys, as we were talking about earlier, Linda, when we first got on, that haven't totally figured out how to be their true selves yet. And so have been studying genetics and studying animals and studying humans to try to understand how they can be as liberated and free and individualized as we have the beautiful opportunity to be able to experience ourselves. So it's a vast array of things. And I love your journalism and your deep work. And my goodness, Linda, you have truly been the trooper in this space for so long, bringing in a lot of things that were really hard for people to hear, and, you know, and bringing through still with your heart. How do we break through the fear to the truth of who we are and the potential we have to actually unify as a planet?
You're making me think back to one of the moments in this life where the ability for power and money to control and block is a big part of the story when you get into UFOs and ETs. And as I was listening to you, I was thinking I had reached a point where I had hundreds of images and pathology reports, and I wanted to do a book. And I ended up getting a reference to a senior editor at Simon & Schuster. And I sent in a manuscript, and I put some of the photos where they would come in the manuscript printed. And I got a phone call back from the senior editor, and he said, I really, really like your book, but under no circumstances would we ever publish these disgusting animal photos. And I said, sir, tell me what's disgusting. And he paused, and I said, I'm asking because there's no blood, there's no tracks, even if there are internal organs that are missing. The whole bottom line of the phenomena,
they're like cadavers in a lab, right?
Is that you don't have blood, you don't even have tracks of the animal around itself. That is what my story is about, trying to investigate and find out what the truth is on that. So the photos are evidentiary.
Right.
Miss Howe, he goes from Linda to Miss Howe, we are very interested in publishing your manuscript, but under no circumstances, and he said it louder the second time, will we publish these disgusting photos. And that is why everything I had, I put into my first book, An Alien Harvest. And it was like a test, I suppose, to a certain extent. The universe does that. I printed, and they were, it was like tooled leather. I wanted it to be like if this was going to be my only book, it was going to look like tooled leather. It was going to have enamel pages for those photos of those animals and the maps. And it was, I think, 1,300 done hardcover that looked like tooled leather and sold at $65 a piece. And that was it. That was like, okay, I can do this. Right. So I have published my books and done my own documentaries, for which I'm very grateful, because I know that I was not ever taking political squeeze from somebody over money, over politics, over whatever it was. Bravo. And I guess I just say this tonight in this celebration of the bi-millennial for Jimmy and Fade to Black, that at least some of us have told the truth for a really long time. And now we're catching up to where the truth heads. And I think it is going to be complicated. And I think it's going to be more difficult than it would have been if the government would just tell the truth and we could introduce other life in the universe in a peaceful, constructive way, not under some form of threat.
Right.
I don't know.
Militarization, in other words.
I'm curious. Yeah. Adam, have you talked with anybody that you have felt in some way has been trying to access what exactly is going to happen in the rest of this 2030, 2040, 2050 period?
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there's a very clear picture among a lot of the galactic family that I've been in touch with and a lot of my friends who are, that we're in a transitionary period and we have to deal with the massive disinformation momentum that the forces that be have constructed around this narrative and the ways they've continued to work to essentially do what Werner von Braun said a long time ago, which is to play the fourth card as the extraterrestrial threat and then create a space-based military system that could then control anywhere on the planet and take out anyone anywhere, right? And so we've been up against that reality for a long time. And now we're just surfacing to this point in our human history where you actually can't stop the actual energy of self-realization that is occurring across the world, where people have faced so much polarity, so much conflict, and so much confusion, whether it's the red versus the blue in the United States, or whether it's, us versus them, or it's the Palestinians versus the Israelis, and seeing how much media construct and how much storytelling is generated to get us into conflict. The reality is that eventually people start to realize that's exactly what's happening. And they start opting out of that information. They stop believing that that's the only source of truth and seeking it out on their own in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the night, opening themselves up to greater truth and having contact experiences and meeting beings that have cared for the life on this planet for a very long time and hope to see us make it through this transition to becoming part of this larger galactic family together. And I look at it that way. I think we're all a family of life in this universe and that we're all related. And yeah, sometimes you got like a nasty step cousin, who's like a small group of some species. But look at humanity. How many little pods like that do we have? And what, we're going to judge an entire other species? Do we want to be judged that way just because, this guy, on the street got a gun because he was traumatized and ended up killing somebody? No, we want to accept everyone and recognize that, yes, while there's always bad actors, it's important that we see that the deepest imperative of life tends to be generative and tends to be good, and that we can actually live and learn and grow from each other. And I believe take planetary stewardship, but it's going to take a huge project and some big momentum to pull it off. Linda, do you agree with me?
Yes, and I hope that the direction that the Earth is going to go is to the concept that people would take into themselves that there is thought in the light, and that the protonoia, that is one of the gifts, is to understand there may be conflict between black and white, dark and light, and it may be that we're in a absolutely constructed lesson planning universe to teach us that. But that ultimately, my own personal feeling is, forget male versus female, the dark versus the light, and to always choose the thought that dwells in the light, to go after the light and reject the dark. I do think that is one of the main energy systems going on in this in this universe, in this planet. But then,
just out of curiosity, when you say reject the dark,
one last thing is, but some days thinking about that, I think, but would there actually be hundreds, thousands of universes pitched to a very specific lesson? How complex could the multiverse be? Is incomprehensible.
Well, we're up against some stuff here. Yeah. But Linda, I'm going to say this: when it happens, and it's going to happen, the reaction to the planet and how that happens, I think it's going to be calm, cool, and collected. It's not going to be the big freak out. But the reason why is because everybody's more educated. And you are a huge part of that, Linda. And I want to thank you right now on behalf of our audience, but myself personally, for our friendship. And thank you for being a part of this show for so many years. Thank you so much.
Thank you, you guys. An agape hug to everyone.
Yeah,
right
big
back
love
at
to
you,
you.
Linda. Right back at you,
thank you.
Linda. Linda Moulton Howe. Thank you, Linda. Behave. Okay, now go get some work done.
That's right.
Linda's working. Yeah, she's working right now. I'll talk to you, Linda. Thank you so much. The absolute very best right there, Linda Moulton Howe. And Cristina Gomez is here. I'm going to bring in Cristina now. I'm just waiting for her. There she is. Let's bring Cristina straight in. Cristina Gomez, everybody. Look at that.
Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Adam. It's been a really awesome day for you guys. And I know we're singing the Jimmy praises. And I think I got some pretty good ones here today.
Okay. All right. Let's go.
So to start off with, hello, everyone. Jimmy has been my mentor since the beginning when it comes to radio and podcasts. He has been the only person on my contact list that I can call immediately, and he'll be like, Gomez, I'm there. Whatever you need, I'll give it to you. Whatever the situation, I'm there for you. And finding people like that is so beyond rare. I'm incredibly lucky to be friends with Jimmy, do every single Thursday show with him. He's so sweet. For Contact in the Desert, I forgot he was going. And I'm like, Jimmy, here are the links. Here's the notes. See you there. And he's like, I thought you knew I was going to be out of town. You know what? I'll do it over the phone. I do not want to disappoint you. And that was really touching because it just shows his character in those moments that no matter where he is, he's willing to drop things for his friends. And you're not going to find that down the street. It's amazing.
Well, and Cristina, Adam, and I, we've been talking about this all night with all of the guests, and I'm sure you've been listening. The trip about what goes on today, which is the misconception. Okay, here's the misconception. And it doesn't matter what it is. You want to be a fashion consultant. You want to be a travel host. You want to do okay, hold on. Let's go four-way. Somebody's late, but let's bring him in anyway. There's Jason Quitt.
Okay. Double spike. All right.
Okay. All right.
Plus Cristina Gomez.
Yeah, and he's wearing a faded black shirt, so he's coming straight in. Here's the misconception. Welcome, Jason. Good to see you, my friend. And I can see that we're going to be heading to overtime for a few minutes tonight. Adam, you're going to, I'm paying you a lot of money to be here. So,
gosh, I'm glad because.
but anyway, here's the misconception that you go and start an Instagram channel and a YouTube channel and get a USB microphone for your Mac, right? And your Mac laptop camera, and you are going to have instant celebrity and sponsors and fame and red carpet, and that it's all easy. It's not that kind of party. It's simply not. The way forward is hard work. And Cristina, I've known you for a while now. There are very few people out there that consistently put out the most amazing content, just nonstop, and it's at a level of production that you do because of the world that we're in. You have to look good. Personally, you have to look good, but no, your content has to look good. Your cameras, your lighting, your graphics, your thing, your bottom, lower thirds, your logo, your thing, all of it, your banner, everything is there, and people expect that. So to do all of that in combination with the content, Cristina, you should be not only very proud, but happy with where you are right now, because people see what you do. I know what you do. You know what I do. And to see you do that consistently, man, week after week, day after day, is incredible. So I'm just proud to be a part of it. I play my little small part, and wow, and for all of those content creators out there, look to nobody else for inspiration
than Jimmy
than
Church,
Cristina
because
Gomez.
I got all the inspiration and help from him. I can't take all the credit for this one, but this today is not about me. It's about you. And I know Jason, being such a good friend of yours, has some pretty good things to say.
Jason, you're on. Welcome, Jason Quitt, everybody. Oh, he got a new guitar.
Well, I thought I would write a song for you tonight, but then I realized this is just for show.
BGT, baby.
Show. All right.
Wait, you're joking? We're not going to get a song? I was so ready for the song, Jason.
Oh, Jason.
No, they're just for show.
Just for show.
Got it.
Just for show. Yeah, the books.
He's got a dope guitar too.
Yeah. The books in the background, just for show. He's never read them. He just goes to bookstores.
You've got there though, that thing is luminous. I mean, I'm feeling my pineal and crown light up just seeing that in your, behind your head. But yeah, that's beautiful, Jason.
Thank
really
you.
Nice.
Thank
you. With your Shungite pyramid, because Stairway to the Stars. Yes, congratulations.
Yes.
Well done.
Thank you.
Jason, again, just like Cristina and everybody that's been on the show tonight, you've been with us since the very beginning. And when I'm not sure when or how we first met, but you've been to my house, and I don't even know. We're going back a long ways.
I found the first picture of our live show together, and that was at Contact in the Desert in 2017.
So now think about that, what you just said. That's almost 8 years ago now.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Is that where we met?
In person.
Oh, in person.
The first time we met in person, I sat down for a live interview, but we did a show before that. So I already knew you, but just as the radio host. And then from there, we went to Mount Adams the month after, in July in 2017. And I think the rest is history from there.
Oh, okay. I'm going to tell Adam and Cristina a hilarious story, but this is true. Jason and I have a lot of hilarious stories between the two of us. We've done a lot of stuff together. But check this out. Jason and I saw Bigfoot prints together.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, no, for real. Like crazy town.
Was this at Mount Adams?
Yeah, it was at Mount Adams. This was at Mount Adams. And the best part about this, aside from looking down at a set of, there was 4, looking at that and having that paradigm shift thrown into your life, because it's a crazy thing to experience. But Jason was there shooting a documentary. So we had all these cameras and these lenses, these things, and we were able to have this experience together of the discovery of the prints and seeing them and measuring them and looking at them, but we shot it. And we went through that, and it's one of the most amazing experiences of my life. And I shared it with Jason. Was that like, Jason? Was that like one of the craziest things ever for you? Because it was for me.
They were too perfect. For one, they were deep. Whatever made that had to have been very heavy, 500-600 pounds easily. I got pictures and video of you laying on the ground to show the stride and the gait between each footstep, and they were longer than your body. So whatever this thing was, its steps were bigger than Jimmy's body laying on the ground. And the craziest one of all was the last step. It wasn't a footprint. It was like 3 toes dug into the mud, like it jumped.
Right.
And then there was no other tracks. So it's like it appeared out of the ethers. It ran 4 steps, and the last step was jumping back into the ethers.
Straight up. And I'm so glad that Jason is not only here to share that story, but if I tell the story by myself, it's bullshit. Right.
Well, I believe you guys because
But no,
I was at ESETI Ranch and I was there, and one of my friends, operations managers, she was a nanotechnologist. She saw what she thought must have been a Yeti or Bigfoot. It looked like a 9 or 10 foot tall being, shadow, running through the woods one night. And it just goes running by, and it's huge. There's no way it could be a person running by out there, and everybody's in bed and asleep. So I believe you guys. I think right in that area they probably hang out.
Yeah,
guy. So it's not a bad
but
place.
But you understand what I'm saying when we're talking about it's 4. So Adam, we cleared out. We had a big crowd around it. We're all looking. We're like, okay, wait a minute. There's got to be more footprints here. There was 4 left, right, and then we're going like in an arch. Yeah. And so we cleared everybody's look. There weren't any. There were just those 4. So whatever it was came in and left. And that's a weird, your brain is trying to put this together and it can't.
And the ground was the same. It was similar ground before that. It wasn't just that it didn't imprint the same way.
Here's the thing. It was in a field. And I'm 6 foot, 200 pounds. Jason's like 6'4" and 200 pounds. He's skinny. And but we're not putting dents in the dirt.
Right. We had Jimmy jumping up and down next to the print and not even making an indentation at all.
It's actually true. And so and that was it. Just and these were fresh prints. They were fresh. You could just look at it and know. Yeah, it was nuts. But let's change this a little bit. Jason, with the ability to share knowledge and write and communicate. How important, it's the theme of the evening. This is our 2000th show. You have the ability to not only share this knowledge, but to get it into print and to write the books and get it out there. How important is it to keep your foot on the gas and never give up on the research?
You always need that curiosity. And we're in the most amazing industry where we're talking about the phenomenon, which is the mysteries. So it will always be a mystery. No one is solving this today or tomorrow. So that curiosity keeps us driving forward. And I know I call Jimmy at least twice a year saying, Jimmy, I got to talk to you. Because, you're always like pulling at threads. And sometimes you're like, okay, we're on to something interesting here that no one's really talking about. And then we dive down, we create our own rabbit holes. And this is what gets everything exciting. This is why we do the shows. This is why we all get together and talk. We're just at Contact in the Desert together. And the most amazing thing is this whole thing of this collaborative effort that Adam was talking about earlier, is that we all come together. We all have these little pieces of the puzzle. But as we get together, we're friends, we talk, suddenly, I think it was Billy that was saying this too. Suddenly we're opening up this new realm of information. And this is the excitement that keeps us going year in, year out.
And with that, Cristina, you're listening to Jason right now. What have you learned? And I'm going to say this as, because we've got 3 so-called, quote, veterans here, and none of us have the answers. Right. We're trying. We're trying the best that we can. But you've been now creating content for 3-4 years now and jumping into this while going to college at the same time, I might add, just graduated. Congratulations. What is it that you have learned? Do you have a takeaway yet, young one?
The biggest takeaway so far is by a quote by Aristotle, and that is, to know all is to know nothing. And when it comes to this subject, it really displays that, and it really humbles you. And I know all of you guys can relate to that, and everyone else that's been on the panel today, that we've all been searching for these answers to the mysteries. But it seems like when you look and attempt to look for the answer, you go down, like Jason said, to so many other rabbit holes, some that you even create yourselves. And it adds that layer of curiosity, inspiration, passion, but it also demonstrates to us, and I think to others that follow our research, books, documentaries, and so on, that there's so much more to live for than the 9-to-5 job. And I think that's just one thing that I find really inspirational, is that there are such things as life beyond our planet. Maybe there could be other types of potentially different types of cryptids that could be real. People have been dedicating their lives to these kinds of topics of research, and it just shows, at least to me, that there is a lot more importance to this subject than I previously could have ever imagined.
I'm not going to get into details here, but Adam and I were talking earlier in the day, and when I discover something, right, and something happens, whatever it may be.
When Jimmy discovers something.
Yes. So I'm talking to Adam about this earlier today. I'm not going to get into the details. That's for another time. But what that shows me, when you have these epiphanies and you have these life-changing things and you acquire this piece of knowledge, then you just back up and go, there's something else going on here. And then you take that right turn, and that leads to more questions and discoveries. And that's what drives me. And that, I think that's what drives all of us. And you would think that after 2,000 shows, right? You would think that after everything, all the people and everything that I have done, certainly I personally would have thought many years ago, after collecting this much information, that I would have the answers, and I don't. That's what's crazy. And when you
have better questions, Jimmy.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, the questions are way different moving forward for sure. But when something happens like what happened today with this announcement that dark matter doesn't need gravity to exist and that gravity doesn't need mass. Wait a minute. Then Einstein was wrong? Right? Wait.
Not exactly.
Not exactly. But my point being that that's what it's all about. Mm-hmm. Everything is asking questions and moving forward. Mm-hmm. Because if these physicists that came up with this, if they weren't thinking outside of the box, then we wouldn't have this. Mm-hmm. And that's the difference, is going outside of the box, constantly investigating and questioning. And that's the only way we move forward as a human species, is to continue to ask questions. What if, I mean, seriously, I know it's been said a million times, but let me really drive this one home. What if Galileo or Copernicus didn't give a shit? Okay? Think about that.
Yep.
Think about that for a second.
Be flat.
Right.
Be under a firmament.
Think about that. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Yeah. What if Newton didn't care?
Yeah.
And that's where physicists and science today, they don't care enough. They don't. I mean, Galileo went to jail for his ideas.
Copernicus was burned at the stake.
Yeah. Give me a physicist today that will put everything on the line. Give me one. It ain't Neil deGrasse Tyson. I can tell you that right now. He doesn't. He needs those clicks, right? And it's the same thing. What if? And that's what we're missing today is guys like
we're not missing them, Jimmy. We're not missing them. There's a lot of them. I mean, your show is literally full of these people, bro.
That's right.
I mean,
that's right.
These are the questioners of the questions. These are the people willing to break beyond the current paradigm and ask the questions. It doesn't matter if they're right or wrong. Lots of times we're wrong. Lots of times people are wrong, but at least investigating. And that's the power. And that's what I see Jason and Cristina really doing. These are individuals who have spent, in Jason's case, the last, 10, 15, 20 years as a major investigator, and someone like Cristina, who's just in college. But my guess, Cristina, and I would love to know your story, but my guess is that you started actually asking the hard questions in school at some point when you were like, why doesn't this fit exactly? Like, why doesn't this make sense? I mean, what was it for you, Cristina, that got you really asking the harder questions?
Well, let's just say when it came to my teachers, I was not the favorite student.
Yeah, okay, I know that one. Back in the class.
Yeah. Oh man, here comes Gomez. She's gonna ask me something.
She's gonna say, she's gonna be like, so what is energy? Or like like that.
Why is there air? But here's and to your point though, Adam, is Jason has this crazy ability. We all know people that can do this, but Jason is taking it to another level. He can look at an image and look at another image, and it could be an object, it could be an illustration, whatever. But he has the ability to see through it and deduce possibly what it's actually saying. Now, and I'll give you a
translation.
It could be anything.
Matter, physical matter.
Here's an example. Okay, so Jason and I are out lying in a field, and we're looking at the clouds, right? Yeah. And I go, that looks.
Wait. No, you're going to tell me a story of him saying there's elephants in the clouds?
No. It's like this. It's like this though. I'm representing the world, and the world would go, okay, that's a puppy with a balloon. And Jason's going to go, no, that is, if you really look, that is the tilt of the earth 16,000 years ago, and it's represented in the paintings in Lascaux caves. And if you look really close, and no, dude, I see a puppy. I see a puppy. And so when people look at whether it's Egyptian hieroglyphs,
Jimmy, you got it, look. If we go with the freshest hot physics of the structure of space, we know it's a structure full of information. And then if you take, my expoundations on Nassim's proton theory, and you say that protons are little hard drives and they're actually entangling, creating a network throughout space-time, maybe Jason's actually reading the space-time network.
Yes. No, but that's exactly it. That's exactly it, though.
But you could all do what I do. Okay. Yeah. You just have to study something and then just lock yourself in the room for 2 or 3 years and meditate.
Fair enough.
And then I'll just come to you.
No, fortunately, I did that in the past life, so I've got that down. That's how I figured out. No, seriously, Jason, that's awesome. I mean, my guess is you probably have deep, rich entanglement stories about almost every one of those things in your shelves in the back. Like every one of those crystals has a relationship to places in the universe. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right. In fact, this week, I'm actually flying out to Thunder Bay, Ontario to go mining for these guys, for some Oralite 23s.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's the coolest. It's only one location on planet Earth, and
really,
yeah, I've got some Oralite. But okay, so Adam, back to your point. the ability to I see relationships and things. I don't have the answers, but Jason shows me something, and I go, wait a minute, I've seen this. I was just thinking about this. I show that to him, and then he has the ability to take that, like he was just saying, right, that rabbit hole, and take off and run with it. That's the problem that we have today in academia. You could take that same information to Christina's professors, and it's not going anywhere.
Right?
It's simply not. It's a dangerous zone, and the real stuff happens when you have the people that think outside of the box. And I'll go back to Galileo's easy. But if you go further back and you go to Socrates, or you go to Plato, you read Plato's Cave. Aristotle. Really
quoted Aristotle.
Really read Plato's Cave. That is, woofa.
This is what Jimmy is talking about. I'll call him and I'll say, you see this image? I go, you see this image of the staff gods, holding the Waz scepter, and, it's perfectly aligned to the Earth's tilt at 23.5 degrees. And I said, isn't that interesting, Jimmy? I go, well, go to Bolivia, and it's exactly the same, 23.5 degrees.
Nice.
Of the staff gods.
Yeah.
And so that's what Jimmy's talking about. And,
he
see
the hidden mathematical angles within the fabric of space.
But
that codex of the Galactic Council is present right there in all the ancient sites. That's true, man.
Adam, it's every culture.
Every
culture had the same representation, and so is it coming from, if when you're going back 2, 3, 4, 5,000 years and further with this information, then that's when you have to stop and ask yourself, where's the information coming from? Okay, I know it's there. It's represented. You can see it. You can measure it. You got Jason Quitt to help you understand what's going on. But
where's it coming from, Cristina? Go.
Where's it coming from?
With all the cultures mirroring very similar knowledge across time, it's really unbelievable to give it a conventional explanation. Could it be coming from extraterrestrials that maybe want to help the Earth, help humanity, take over humanity? Right there, the possibilities are endless, but it seems as if either one, people are tapping into a form of consciousness or the Akashic records, or they are receiving guidance by another physical entity that might not be human.
Adam and I were talking about that earlier today, and that the ancients, it doesn't matter what the culture is, the ancients had no issues with tapping in. None. They had no issues doing that. None. And for some reason,
Jimmy was there. He was there. Don't let him play.
But for some reason, things over time got in the way, and we were distracted. And
Blood was distracting, Jimmy. Like ends of ice ages are pretty distracting.
Yeah.
Like Instagram or something. That's pretty distracting too.
Yes.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Fair point.
100%. Hey, everybody, listen. Jason, thank you for being a friend. Thank you for being a part of Fade to Black. And just continued success, my friend, and just thank you for everything. Okay, seriously.
And I just want to say you have provided the platform for a lot of these people to come into this community to share their knowledge. So a lot of people wouldn't know who I am if it wasn't for you. So I want to put a special thanks out to you for that as well.
And that's happened over the years. It's kind of funny. I've had people come up to me and go, Jason Quitt, I thank you. And I get that from, different guests all the time, where people will come up and say, I heard so-and-so on your show, and thank you for that. And it's humbling for me, but I'm gathering the information just like they are. Right. That's it. I'm a fanboy. and I'm here soaking it up.
Storing
Christine,
it in all the guitars in the background. They're literally absorbing the akasha as we speak, so that as the resonance builds within his space, eventually the music and symphony of all those guitars will play the song of all time, and the universe will be reborn, and it'll be dope.
it's all recorded at the quantum level. Those are my Nassim guitars. Those are my Adam Apollo guitars. Cristina, thank you so much. Just thank you. Thank you for being you. And we've been working together for so long, and just you made tonight special to come in, stay up late, and ignore your homework and everything else to come in and do this. Thank you so much.
I think Scott Wolter needs that applause right there, being up at 3 a.m. in Scotland to make it to your show. I mean, that just shows you how much we all care about you, the friends that you have in your corner, that we will always be here for you whenever you need us. And to celebrate a 2000 episode, that's insane. Congratulations.
Thank you, Cristina. And Cristina and I will be live this Thursday, and I'll find out the show's content on Thursday morning. Cristina, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Stay right there, Adam. Jason, thank you, my brother. I'll be in touch with you tomorrow. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jason.
Adam, thank you for co-hosting tonight. 2000 shows. You're the absolute very best, my brother. Thank you.
Oh, I had a blast, my friend. Thanks to all your fader knots out there, and to all of these amazing guests, these superheroes of broad and grand questions around reality. And thank you, Jimmy, for just once again providing such an exquisite platform for people to share their insights, their truth, their journey. You're the man, and I'm honored to be here with you on this 2000th bi-millennial episode, and I hope you'll have me back for your tri-millennial. I'll be here, bro.
Thank you so much, Adam. We've got to do a full show. There's too many things. Adam and I had a pretty serious conversation today. One that needs to, as soon as I'm ready, you and I need to do a full episode on that. I'm going to talk to you about that. But until then, Adam, thank you so much, my friend. Awesome job tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
Adam Apollo. I want to thank everybody that came on the show tonight. Billy Carson, Richard Dolan, Scott Wolter, Whitley, Linda Moulton Howe, Danny Sheehan was on an airplane tonight and was flying to Washington, D.C. So there you go. But thank you, Jason and Cristina, Jason Quitt, and Cristina Gomez. Thank you guys so much. Just a perfect show. 2000 in the can. Didn't think I'd ever get here, but now, well, the next celebration will be at 3,000. Perfect show tonight. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Fader Knots. It's a very humbling experience to even think about doing a 2000th show. Thank you for being here. There you go. It's for you to take part of this show every night and take time out of your busy day to be here with us means everything to me, and I want to thank you. Fade to Black is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee Newman, and Michelle Freed. Thank you to Dennis. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, Bill. Thank you, Genocide. Thank you, Dex. Thank you, Jessica. Webmaster is Drew the Geek. Have you checked out the new website? Go and check that out. Thank you, Drew. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and this broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2024 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network, Inc. It cannot be rebroadcast, downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black of the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Tomorrow night on the show, Darcy Weir is with us. He's got a new film out, new documentary called Transmedium. Until tomorrow night, I want you to be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.